It's week 5 of the 2024 season, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Giants and the Hawks, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 25.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Garden. Charge it ready here. We're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants. Well, down on the field, they're all thinking the same thing that they do every week, Charles. All the work, all the preparation over the past week. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. You talk about this Giant defense. They come into this one rounding out the top 10 in the 10 spot against the run.
They've established themselves as a top 10 run-stopping unit in the NFL here in the early going. All signs point to me towards them continuing that throughout the season. They look pretty good, pretty darn cohesive to me.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Out by a familiar face, a man with 9 Pro Bowls in 10 seasons is the Seahawks' all-time leading passer, Russell Wilson. To throw is Wilson. As this complete to Daniel Bellinger. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Tracy going to get it on first down. Down to the 42, second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Open target here, Darius Slayton. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Gano's kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that D go-around. The offense won the challenge. And the tackle there by Micah McFadden. From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 5. On the counter, it's Walker. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. They'll try for the first with Walker. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. On his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Throwing is Wilson. That's to the rookie. It's Malik Neighbors. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards from all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Here's Wilson to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. You talk about this Seahawk defense. Now, they've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Wilson. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Faking the give, Darnold. They'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. It's a big play there for Seattle. 56 yards.
Just a breakdown there defensively. It looked like someone got their wires crossed because no one seemed to pick him up at all. He's running free, and there's not a quarterback in the league who's going to miss that throw. That's a huge play.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Open man is Barner, the tight end. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21. This 2nd and 4. Quick throw caught out wide by Valdez-Scantling. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Walker will take this into the end zone for a Seahawk touchdown. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Extra point up and through by Myers, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And possession switching back to the New York Giants. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They go play action now. Wilson. That ball caught by Slayton. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now it's Wilson. Open man is the rookie, Theo Johnson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now Wilson, option right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
2nd down and 4. Wilson. Johnson's got it complete. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line. Here's Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. He'll try again, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Let's think here. You're still just in the second quarter. You taking the 3 points?
I am taking the 3 points, and I'm just relying on my defense here. Show them you have a little confidence in them, and let the offense know, nice drive. Come back next time. We'll go get 6 then, but for now, we'll take the 3.
Gano's kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks a bit as back-to-back drives here for him, and with field goals.
Yeah, we know no one's turning down 3, especially in the first half, but you got to finish these drives in the end zone. That's got to be a priority. Nice to have a reliable kicker, but outside of his agent, you know you'd rather him kick 1-pointers instead of 3-pointers.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They've dropped 4 straight games coming into this one, remember, but they have the lead here. Here's Walker to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Here's a 2nd and 8.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. This now a 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Darnold. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Wilson. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. Now Wilson. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 2nd down. On to give, it's Tracy. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far in this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 27-yard line. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Play action. It's Wilson. He's got Bellinger. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Short throw caught by Dulcich. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on third down. In motion, Slayton. Play action. Now Wilson. That's complete to Slayton. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down. Gano's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, Walker with it. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Darnold now to throw. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. Darnold. Eluding the pressure. Darnold, he lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it, and ends up getting the ball stripped.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down. They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and that will push the lead up to 12-7. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. The Seahawks on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Darnold. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Looking for Cooper Kupp again, 2 in a row. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Darnold. This one goes underneath to Walker, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Again, Darnold. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Here's Darnold. Quick slant to Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 24-yard line. Now it's Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. To throw is Darnold. Throw left side, complete to Kupp. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, so that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
Darnold to throw again. He's got it. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Back to throw, Darnold. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
Now Darnold on 3rd and goal. Forced out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Sam Darnold, as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
This is a great decision right here. Out of the pocket to his left, and he knows if he waits too long, the defense is going to be all over him. So he makes a decision to go and wins the race to the pylon.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is now 2. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you, too, in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was the Patriots who were able to come away with the victory. Drake May, terrific in the victory, as his guys upped their mark to 4-1 now. And lastly, on Monday Night Football, just one game this week, the Saints and Chiefs at Arrowhead, set to kick off at 7:15 Central Time. It was a strong first half for the former Spartan, Kenneth Walker. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Giants' offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. The Giants' offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now it's Wilson. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Throwing is Wilson. Incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Wilson will throw again. That is caught. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Wilson. Over the middle, he completes it to Robinson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down. They'll hand it to Tracy. And they'll get him down right around the 16. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a third and 2 more. Right back to Tracy. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
They'll try the field goal now with Graham Gano. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Gano's kick is good, and they have regained the lead. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy, and they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's second down. Off of play action, Darnold. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. They'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Motion left, Kupp. And Darnold just beating the play clock. Throw out wide is incomplete.
No receivers open, so who's forced to put that one into Puget Sound? That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers, and ultimately, a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
Darnold now to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 28. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10, as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Faking the give, Darnold. He gets this into the hands of Kupp once again. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They go right back to him for 20 and a first. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football.
He finds Smith and Jigba in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in this third quarter. So a very strong first drive in this second half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a third quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But boy, they executed awfully well moving the ball down the field. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Giants offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. They'll start with a run by Tracy. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. And he will have a Giants first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And that'll be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touchdown. 3rd and 2. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
In motion goes the tight end. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 24-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. Now Wilson. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
To throw again is Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Gano's kick is good, and that will cut the lead down to just 2. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Darnold. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack.
And Burns has found a new home with the Giants this offseason. He's thrilled to be in the metropolitan area. The guy they call the Spider-Man nets another sack.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. In motion, Slayton. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And that's incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flush to his right, and he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. In motion, the tight end. To throw is Darnold. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big pickup of 38.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now Darnold. This one goes underneath to Walker. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 2nd and 3 from the 9. Now it's Darnold. This is caught. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Ken Walker with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Seahawks are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes this a 9-point game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the Giants ready to come out now. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. On the run is Tracy. Yeah, this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you've got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play. Only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers. Everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Darnold. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. Now a 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Darnold throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant. They'll give him 4 yards there, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Back to throw, Darnold. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Here's Wilson to throw. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. The Seahawks offense and Sam Darnold headed back out there. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 6. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Off of play action, Darnold. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Up the middle, here's Walker. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Darnold now to throw. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And now out come the Giants. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Wilson. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down. Here's Wilson. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Again, Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
That's complete. It's Neighbors. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40. Now Wilson. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
To throw is Wilson. And his throw here's incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
They go play action now. Wilson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14. Throwing is Wilson.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Wilson. He finds Robinson. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back.
No tougher place to be in a spot like this than Seattle. Here's third down.
This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now Wilson. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Darnold now to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to taking a lead, and thus far, it has winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace players.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. So Russell Wilson and the offense down by 2. A little over a minute to go. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Wilson to throw. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 7.
Here's Wilson.
Connects with Slayton.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Throwing now is Wilson.
Pass complete to Robinson. And they'll get him down after a gain of 7, but they'll happily give him that. Here comes second down.
They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for the Seahawks, it took a while, but they finally get that first win after 4 straight losses. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.